Hi everyone, my name is Wayne Pollock. I'm a thought leadership ghostwriter serving big law and boutique law firm partners. I help these partners build their practice and their prominence one word at a time. If you're an attorney or any professional services provider who wants to build a following, you want people to subscribe to your content, to constantly read and consume your content in the hopes that they will bring their business to you or refer business to you, you've got to build trust with your readership, with your audience. It's tempting to think that the only people who can build a following are celebrities or athletes or CEOs at the top 50 companies in the world. But if you're a lawyer, you can build a following with your target audience. All you need is a handful of people who are your target audience, who are actively consuming your content. But to build a following, you're going to have to build trust with audience members. Here are 5 rules you're going to have to abide by if you want to build trust with your audience in the hopes of building a following. First, your content is going to be relevant and compelling and valuable. It is going to give your audience bang for their buck when they invest some time in consuming your content. They are going to come to trust that your content is relevant, compelling, and valuable, that they're going to get something that they need or that they could use from your content. If you can't create that content, if you can't create relevant, compelling, and valuable content, you're not going to build trust and you're not going to be able to build your following. Second, your content is overwhelmingly educational instead of promotional. Now, at times it might make sense to promote yourself if you're going to have a webinar, if you're going to be speaking at a conference or speaking at some large gathering that you think your target audience might want to attend or might already plan on attending, that's fine. But you generally don't want to shove promotional sales messages down your audience's throats. You want them to come back to you time and time again. You want to provide educational material, as I just suggested with that first rule. So let's not be promotional. Let's educate. Let's not have people come to us and be disappointed when we're trying to sell things all the time. Educational, not promotional. Third, you show up when you say you're going to show up. If you have a podcast that's coming out on the first and third Monday of every month, or you have a Friday newsletter, or you've got a weekly Wednesday video interview, then keep to the schedule that you have promised. You want to build trust with your audience. Well, show up when you say you're going to show up. Obviously, if you have to tinker and change the timing based on your schedule, that's one thing. But on the other hand, perhaps you should be planning around those changes because your content schedule is going to help build the audience because it's going to help build trust. Fourth, you've got to be consistent. If you say you're going to be doing first and third Monday podcasts or weekly videos or weekly newsletters, then be consistent with it. Don't do 4, 8, or 12 podcasts and then stop and then pick up 3 months later. Don't do a weekly email for 4 weeks straight and then stop and restart 3 months later. You have to be consistent with your content. People will trust you based on your consistency. If you're inconsistent, they're not going to trust you. They're not going to think that you're able to help them with their legal or business issue. It's kind of funny, but that's how it works. We trust people when they show up, when they say they will, and when they're consistently showing up. Finally, rule number 5, when you are bringing on a third party as a guest to a podcast, as a guest on a video, or even as a co-author for an article, you've got to make sure that they are providing relevant, valuable, and compelling information to your audience, and that what the guest has to say is aligned with the subject matter that you speak about normally, and that your audience comes to know from you and enjoy from you. So for example, if you have a podcast about financial issues or fintech issues or white collar criminal developments, and you bring on someone who talks about mental health, but it's not anything related to what you are talking about normally, that could be a problem. If you are talking about the substantive area of law and you bring someone in who's going to talk about law practice management or marketing, that might not be a fit based on what your key audience wants to hear. So that's going to be a problem because you're not aligning your guests with your audience's desires and what they find as relevant and valuable. Just because your content is always relevant and valuable doesn't mean that you can take a day off and bring on a third party whose content won't be relevant and valuable to your audience as well. Your audience trusts you that you're going to provide content to them that's relevant to them. It doesn't matter if it's you or someone else. They're coming for that kind of content. And if you bring on a guest that doesn't provide that content, that could be a strike against you and could cause people to perhaps unsubscribe or no longer consume your content as often as they used to. You don't often hear in the legal marketing world and the legal thought leadership world people talking about building a following, but that's what you want to do. You don't want an audience that randomly or inconsistently consumes your content. You want them regularly and consistently consuming your content in whatever form that it is in. You want them to build a relationship with you and to trust you, to get a sense that you have the knowledge and wisdom and the personality that can help them with their legal and business issues. If you want to build that trust, abide by these 5 rules. And when you build trust, you build a following. And when you build a following, you can help build your practice and increase your prominence and your book of business. If you're interested in learning more about how to create the kind of content that can help you build a following, check out lawfirmeditorialservice.com. We have plenty of videos, blog posts, and podcast episodes that can help you do just that.